It's just a short video about some of the problems we face as parents with Zayden and his autism at times. And it's some things that really start annoying me a little bit. Um, just people being judgmental without even knowing what the problems are, or every child is different and unique and have their own ways of doing things in life, their own rates of learning, their own rates of how they want to go about life, and it's just something that's really annoyed me. People that could be so judgmental, for example. See, it's difficult when you've got a child with disabilities, and Zayden with his autism and being autistic, it's really hard sometimes to explain to people when they just look at you like you can't control your child, or you're a bad parent, or whatever it may be. Zayden has many troubles in life. Not his autism, he has learning difficulties. He has really bad eating difficulties. He can't eat properly. He can't eat normal foods. He has a lot of trouble swallowing food. So everything has to be in a pureed sort of type of food. Like, it has to be in a liquid form, basically. So he'll have let's say, for example, a Sunday lunch. He'll have a Sunday lunch, but instead of how like we have it to eat, we have to blend it up for him, and so it's actually pure liquid, and we have to feed him that way. And if it's got the slightest little lump in it, like, say, for example, a carrot hasn't blended up properly, that slightest little lump, he'll have trouble swallowing it, and then he'll be sick. And this happens constantly. Some foods are worse than others. Some foods that you think are pretty much, you could actually say ready bread, for example, or porridge. You'd say that's pretty much liquidy in a way, but the texture of it makes him sick as well. So it's difficult when it comes to food. For example, we'll go out to eat somewhere in a restaurant or have a carvery or whatever, and you order your food and whatever, and the waitresses or the waiters or whoever it may be, the members of staff, look at you funny sometimes. You're having something to eat, but your child's not eating at all, and it's like and it looks weird to them, because it's like, well, you're eating, why is your child not eating? Do you not feed your child? And sometimes they'll come up and they'll ask, "Oh, does your child want any food?" And we'll have to explain, no, he doesn't actually eat food normally like we do. It has to be all blended up in a puree form. But we fed him prior to coming out, or we'll feed him when we get back in, whichever way around it may be. It's really hard out there sometimes. Zayden suffers from a lot of anxiety as well. He gets really anxious to go anywhere outside in public. For example, he really loves swimming. He's took to that like a duck to water, really, in a way. He's done really well. He does a Becky Aglington swim course with the Olympic swimmer. He does a course run by her people, which he's doing very well at. He's actually a really good swimmer, and in fact, school have said to his mum they're surprised how really advanced he is at swimming. But then he enjoys football as well. He enjoys going watching United play, whether it be at Old Trafford or in Sports Village. But beforehand, it's an absolute nightmare to try and get him ready, to try and take him out anywhere, because he gets really anxious. He'd rather just sit on the sofa or lay on the sofa and watch his iPad or play on PlayStation games. But once he's over that anxiety and he's there at swimming, he loves it. You can't get him out of the water. He can't wait to get in, and he can't get him out of the water. the same goes for football. When you take it to Old Trafford, for example, you'll say to him, "Oh, we'll go to a match today. We've got football beforehand," and he says, "Oh no, I not go, Daddy. I don't want to go." But you know fully well that when you take him, he will love it. And I tell you now, as soon as he sees Old Trafford, like we park up, walk to the ground, and he sees Old Trafford, he's the one dragging me there. Basically, he recognises it, goes, "Oh, Daddy, football," you know, and he's the one that's dragging me there. And as soon as he gets to the stadium, he wants to be first one in. He likes sitting down. He likes what's it, a football ground. He likes sitting down. He likes surveying the sights of Old Trafford, all his sports village, or if we're away from home, whatever ground we'd be at. Where he went to West Ham earlier on the season, the London Stadium, shocking ground, shocking away end. He's about 10 years away from the action, but he loves that sort of thing. And he was again dragging me to go inside, even though I've seen a mate on the outside. I couldn't say a quick hello to my friend because I was like, "Oh, he wants to go inside, sit down, to take in his surroundings." And sometimes with Zayden is that the match is not actually important. The match is secondary to Zayden. He actually loves the atmosphere of football grounds. I remember last season we played Juventus in the Champions League where Cristiano Ronaldo returned, and where he was sat in the amenity seating area of Old Trafford before they've put them in the new areas. You sit by the corner flag in between the East stand and the Sir Bobby Charlton stand in that corner there, and obviously the away fans are just above you. And he loved the Juventus away fans. He loved their singing, he loved their songs. He spent more time watching them than the game, actually, to be fair. And he was laughing and dancing along to them, you know. So sometimes football, he might not pay attention to the game, but he's there for the atmosphere. He loves the atmosphere. He loves the singing. He loves the songs. And the thing is, though, when you take Zayden out as well to these things, when he goes to school, you ask him what happens, and he very, very quickly forgets what happens. He's not got a very good long-term memory, or even a short-term memory. I don't even know what it is. But you could have took him to a football game, for example. It was my best example of it. And his favourite player, Anthony Martial, scores a goal. He'll remember that bit, but he won't remember the rest of the match. And he still doesn't know, like, he knows Manchester United, but you go to him and say, "Who do you support?" Without me prompting him, he won't say Manchester United because it's not something that he remembers. But he'll remember it saying red team. Because obviously United predominantly play in red. So it predominantly, he calls it Reds, Reds. It's easy. "Come on, Reds," it's his usual favourite chant. But he knows Marshall. He calls him Marshall, Anthony Martial. I think he finds that easier because there's a character from Paw Patrol, the Dalmatian dog, the fire one, that's called Marshall. So I think that's why he sort of resonates to Anthony Martial a lot, and he likes Marshall. He remembers Marshall. He actually knows what Marshall looks like. He's got one of those yearbooks. You ask him, "Find me Anthony Martial." Find him Marshall. And he always flicks by him and he flicks back and goes, "There he is," points to him, Marshall. So he knows what he looks like, he knows who he is, but so he remembers little bits like that, but big things he doesn't remember. What the scoreline was, for example. He just knows that red team won. The Reds won. But it's very, very hard to take in places. People often judge his parents as well, because he's not nappy trained. Potty trained. He's still in nappies, or toilet trained, because he's 6 years old. People are like, "Wait, what are you doing as parents?" The thing is, it's very, very difficult to explain to an autistic child how to do basic toiletry. we've tried. We've got one of those seats that go on the toilet seat, one of them like junior toilet seat things, to help him. We've got a little stool that he can stand on, and we sit him on it all the time, you know, and try and teach him, but it doesn't come easy to the lad. You know, it's nothing to do with us being bad parents or great parents or whatever people may think. It's just the fact the little lad just doesn't understand it. It's hard for him to learn. It just doesn't. He just doesn't understand the basics sometimes, and you know, for people to judge, it gets a little bit hurtful. You know, it annoys me a lot. I lose my temper. He like many autistic children, he has meltdowns. Best example I could give was a few years ago at Tesco. He was shopping with me. This is the only time he's actually ever done it with me when he's shopping with me. He's usually quite good with me. He's had a mother of all meltdowns. Chucked his milk bottle on the floor, and he chucked himself on the floor in front of this lady. She must have been about late 40s, early 50s. She pushed a trolley along, and basically she absolutely tore into me about being a bad parent and how in her day she just gave a child a good clipping, as in a good smacking or a smack bum, whatever way you want to call it. And so I proper lost it. I remember I proper lost it. After a good couple of minutes, we was going at it, and I know I should have kept my temper, I should have kept it cool, but I lost my temper a little bit, and I laid it back into her. I said, listen, my son's got disabilities, he's autistic, he didn't mean to, I do apologise, but when she kept on badgering me, saying I'm a bad parent, I just lost it even more. At the end of the day, the security had to split us up and send us on our way, which I'm a little bit ashamed about. It should never have come to the security. I should just told her to F off and just left her, basically. The worst example, though, was not something that happened to me. It was happened to his mother. We went to watch Toy Story 3 when that came out. We waited a few weeks till it was out a little bit, so the cinemas might be a little bit quieter. And we went to the cinema, and Zayden's like, we'll sit down in the cinema's chair, recline back and whatever. It's got one of them reclinable chairs. So he reclines back or whatever. And again, his attention, even with Toy Story or whatever he may be watching, his attention span is not all that great. He loves being there. What he does is runs up and down, but usually there's nobody on the front rows usually, so that doesn't usually bother people. But of course, because Toy Story 3 was still only a few weeks out at that point, I think the cinema was quite busy. Anyhow, he wasn't doing anybody any harm. And the next thing I know, I was enjoying the film because I love Toy Story. Zayden to be enjoying himself as well. Next thing I know, his mother taps me on the shoulder saying we'll leave him. And I thought it must have been something that Zayden didn't like or didn't want to be there. So I was like, okay, fair enough then. It was only when we was outside we got outside the screen and into the sort of foyer area, if you like, near the tills, basically, near the tills and that, where they serve popcorn and whatever. She told me that this woman had basically had a go at her about Zayden, saying that Zayden is disturbing her experience of the cinema and ruining the film for her. So I think if I remember correctly, this again was when Toy Story 3 came out, so it was a little bit ago. And I think his mother, Zayden's mother, explained, look, he's got autism, he doesn't mean to. And I think she says something again, and I can't remember exactly what it was off the top of my head now, and it upset her. And I've never seen Zayden's mum so upset in all my life like that. She had basically in absolute tears, and she was so distraught, it was unreal. Luckily, the manager of the cinema knows us. He's always been top with us, the manager of the cinema, and he said, listen, I'll refund you the money. and we'll give you free cinema tickets to come back whenever you want to, when it's a bit quieter, or come back to an autistic sitting. It's 3 free tickets, and we like to apologise and on behalf of the cinema, basically. So that was good for this. That was good from the cinema's point of view. It was good for the manager. He's a top man, he's a top guy, that manager. Because another thing is the cinema has a policy where I think you have to be 7 or 8 or something to have like a disabled pass or something like that. Anyway, I don't know quite too much into that. His mum knows more about it than I do. But you have to be 7 or 8 for this pass, and obviously Zayden's only 6, so at that point he was only 5. So you get like to get a reduced rate to go into the cinema as a family, and so basically the 2 parents go free, and you're just paying for Zayden, so you're just paying for the child basically, and his 2 carers go for free. Or something daft like that. I'm not sure how it actually works, because she knows more than I do about that sort of stuff. But he was so good, because people until were like, oh no, but he needs to be a certain age for that. But the manager was always good at that cinema, up at Bolton. Really good manager. And he said, "Oh, listen, I'll let you have it. You know, I can see you've got a child with disabilities. You've got we had the proof. We had the blue badge as well, the blue car parking badge. Because Zayden is absolutely struggles with his walking. It's absolutely terrible. If you try to walk with him anywhere, he'll be all right for 30 seconds, and then he'll be moaning he can't walk. He's a danger to himself. He doesn't understand the dangers of the roads, for example. It's hard in life. It's hard in life to really sort of explain to people. You know, we're getting our heads around it ourselves, man, trying to try to be as good as parents as we could possibly be, and give them the best childhood that we possibly can. You know, it's just some people start really annoying me. And going back to the cinema point, if I'd have known what was said, and this is why his mother didn't say anything to me, if I'd have known what was said, I'd have kicked off big time. I would not have left that screening. I think the whole of the the people that were watching that film would have heard what I'd actually said over the noise, the loudness of the film. So I think she did it because she knew I'd kick off, which is a good thing in a way, because then I don't want to get myself into trouble. But stuff like that really annoys me. He's a really nice lad. You know, he's shy. He won't say boo to a ghost. And some people are really good to him. Some of my friends are when I said to football, for example, are absolutely terrific with him. You know, some other people that don't know him are absolutely terrific. They want to know. Some people want to know out of curiosity, and I don't mind telling people what's wrong or why he does things a certain way. And on the majority, on the whole, a lot of people are really good about it. But there's a couple of people that you'll always meet in your life that are absolutely like to throw the book at you, call you whatever, call a child, a little defensive child, all the names under the sun. It's just hard at times, you know. It's not easy. He goes to a specialist school, and he's learned a whole lot of new skills while he's been at that school. I'm so glad he got a chance to go to a special school and not a mainstream school. I think he'd have got completely lost in a mainstream school. But the specialist school he's gone to, his speech has come on incredibly since starting the specialist school. He's really good at maths. He's better than me. I'm shocking at maths, but he's really good at maths, which is great. And his writing, his drawings and stuff like that are coming along. So he's making progress, which is good. But I feel like if we put him into a mainstream school, I think he would have got a little bit lost. So he's learning all the time, but he's learning at a much slower rate than children at his age should be. I think a couple of years ago, people, specialists were putting him at least 2.5 years behind children of his age in terms of learning. But he's catching up and he's doing very, very well. And I'm sure he will get there slowly but surely. And he'll be toilet trained at some point, hopefully, as his life goes on. And hopefully he'll understand how to walk a little bit better, understand that he can't run into roads. And, you know, he has a specialist buggy, well, not buggy, a pushchair. Costs a lot of money as well for older children that can't walk properly, that have problems with walking. And it's you get the looks that you get sometimes when you're pushing him along, because they see this older child, like, what's he doing in a pushchair? You know, people like judging you for that without knowing what the picture is, or what the problem may be, or whatever it, or you know, whatever reason it may be for him to be in a pushchair at his age. You know, we have a blue badge for him as well, so I feel awkward using that blue badge sometimes, because they see you park up in a bay or on a WR lines, wherever it may be, put your blue badge and display it out on the dashboard there, and you get out of the car, they don't see me, I'm able-bodied, they see Zayden, he's able-bodied, they're like, oh, why you got a blue badge, what right have you got to park there? But let's not forget, disabilities is not just something you can see, it could be hidden. You know, it's just madness, man, that you have to justify to people why you have to do things like park in a disabled bay, or why he's in a pushchair, or why you do certain things a certain way. It's just madness. And the other thing that really gets me as well is that Zayden still drinks out of baby bottles with the teats on. Likes his milk, loves his milkshakes. And as his juice out of that, he can't drink out of a sippy cup or a normal cup, which a kid might do, might be able to drink out of it at his age. But it's something he's comfortable with. And so long as I'm more bothered that he stays hydrated and gets the vitamins and the especially his milkshake case, because that's equivalent to one meal. Since he doesn't eat much, he has these specialist milkshake things, you know, like gives him all the protein, all his vitamins and all that, and he's put some weight on because of that, which is fantastic, because he was underweight. You could actually see his rib cages when he stood up, and when he sat down, his ribs are visible to see, his rib cage. Now he's putting a bit of weight on due to them milkshakes. But so long as he stays dehydrated and he gets the food that he needs out of these, you know, out the bottles or whatever it may be, or because we still feed him and that, fed the way like blended up food. As long as he gets what he needs, that's all I care about. So it doesn't matter if he's drinking out of a baby's bottle, or we're feeding him. It's pureed type food. So long as he gets what he needs, that's the main thing to me. I don't care. You could laugh at me and take the piss, joke. Fair enough, and it does annoy me, but you could do that all you like, man. But as long as little man's getting what he needs and what he wants out of life, I'm happy. Because it's difficult. Zayden, to be fair, we've all been on lockdown, we've all been self-isolating at times. For Zayden, this is a toddler list. He does self-isolation is Zayden's middle name. He loves self-isolating if he could. So next time you see me or any other child that you might think of taking the piss out of, or for the way they are, or the way they seem, or the way they act, or if they have a bottle or a pushchair, they look old enough to walk or whatever. Ask yourself a question. Is there a reason why? Is there an actual reason why they're doing it? Why the parents have still got them in a pushchair? Is there a reason why? Has that kid got or that child got a problem with walking? Why is he still using a baby bottle? Have they got a problem with drinking out of a cup, or they might have they got some sort of issue with swallowing, like Zayden has an issue with swallowing? It could be any reason. Zayden has massive problems with sickness as well. Yeah, it really, really is. He always throws up his food quite regularly. He gets ill. He picks up illnesses and gets ill quite quickly, quite easily. So, like in a school environment, like all kids, once someone's got a bug, another child have a bug, etc., etc., all goes through. But Zayden picks up illnesses quickly. He's got a poor immune system, so he will pick up an illness quite quickly. He'll get a cold, he'll get a stomach bug, or whatever it may be. He will get it quite easily. So we have to be careful at times, and look after him. And it's hard. It's hard for any parent. No matter what, it's hard being a parent. It's not the easiest job in the world for anybody. So somebody could put themselves up a pedestal as being the greatest parent in the world, but I bet they've not had it easy. Bet at some point they've not had it easy. It's life's biggest challenge, being a parent. Be the best parent you could be. It's not easy. And it's doubly difficult when you've got a child with disabilities or some form of disability. So I just ask people not to be too quick to judge, and just to think. Because those kids are amazing kids. I wouldn't have my son any other way. He's a lovely child. And he'll go far in life. Whatever he wants to do in the future, he will go far in life. I have no doubt about that. No questions about that. So that's just a little quick rubbish video, really. I'm no good at these sort of things. I hate technology. I hate YouTube. I hate videoing myself. I hate photographing myself. I know it seems hard to believe when you see my social media pages. I hate these sort of things. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'll babble on half the time. But it's hopefully just give you a little insight into the difficulties we face. I might even do another video, like a more detailed video, a video that goes into greater description and greater detail. But I think I'll wrap that up for now. I mean, I'll end up going back over the same things again, like I usually do in videos, because I'm just rubbish at these sort of things. But yeah, just happy days, isn't it? Should be happy, everybody, and hopefully I'll see people soon, because a match, because this is absolutely boring the pants off me not going to be able to go to a football game, take Zayden to a football game. Football's back on, which is great, but it ain't the same without fans, is it? Let's be fair. And let's hopefully well, actually, before I forget, actually, on the point of Zayden and going places, it is hard. It's a challenge to take it place, actually. This is another great example. A couple of years ago, we went to Mattel Play Centre in Liverpool. They've got a big Bob the Builder and Thomas, and I can't remember what else there was now. But anyway, as I was saying, like, we thought he'd enjoy that. It lasted 5 minutes. I had an absolute meltdown. It was too loud for him, I think. They say they have autistic days, but these autistic days are like dodgy days. Some of them could be dodgy days in the middle of the week. We're working. But yeah, it's just, we could take him to anywhere like Legoland, for example. He loves Lego. Take him to Legoland. His mother took him to Legoland Windsor, and he absolutely hated it. And that's the point that I was going to make, but I forgot to make it. So, yeah, just be good people, innit? Let's just be nice to each other. There's too much bullshit going on in the world these days, man, for everyone to be at each other's throats. Anyway, I'm going to definitely go now because I am rabbiting on. Cheers.